Hello, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic 2, mic check. Hello and a very warm welcome to the NH Scott Park for the big final of the tournament. And probably the two best teams of the tournament have deservedly reached the final. It's a wonderful atmosphere here. Spectators, the ever-growing size of the crowd. The DJ is playing the music. A nice bit of breeze as well, cool things off. Otherwise pretty sunny and warm afternoon here. The Atlanta Param Veers are in the field. They won the second semi-final. A very quick turnaround for them. They were in the field just minutes ago. Gajanan Singh is on strike, and he's accompanied by his opening partner throughout this weekend, Shazam Babwa. As we watch the tall off spin of Sewell about to get ready from the commentary box end. All in readiness for the big game, and we're in for a cracking game of cricket. Both the form teams, both of them scored in excess of 150 runs in their semi-finals and ran out easy winners. We're all crying out for a close contest here. Here we go. It's good delivery, and Gajanan got defeated, was looking to sweep it. Bar is the signal from the umpire. Gajanan has a quiet tournament by his high standards. Both these openers are a regular fixture on the domestic circuit here in the USA. Seasoned campaigners. Soil right arm round the wicket. Tall lanky figure of Soil. Sweepers are long on and mid-wicket. As boys lifted that towards the short side of the ground. Couple of bounces and into the fence. First boundary of the final. As Babwa has capitalized on the short pitch delivery. He's off the mark with a boundary. Soil once again, another short delivery down the leg side, wide given. Both informed teams, it's very hard to judge what will be a good total, although it's the final, and the pressure of the final is always does play a part in these big games. Another short delivery, and it's gone over the top. Huge six from Babwa. Just missed that car, which is standing right over there, over the square leg fence. As contrast to Babwa, to Gajanan. Babwa has had a very good tournament, both with bat and ball. Like to contribute in this big game. Started well. Soul has pulled back the length again. Good comeback. It's 12 for no wicket, Atlanta Fire. Another short pitch delivery. Well fielded though. Excellent piece of fielding on short fine leg. The quality of the fielding as well from these two sides have been exceptional. Especially the catching has been sensational. So all is set for a very, very exciting game. This time pushes it wide outside the off stump. Babwa got beaten. Change up delivery from Cyril. Babwa would feel he missed out on that, and that's the end of the first over. Atlanta Fire 12 for no wicket. Looks like Dyer is going to take up the attack from the far end. Dyer has bowled well throughout the tournament as well. For him, the highlight was the sensational catch he took yesterday on long on boundary. Quality of cricket has been quite good. As T10 cricket, it gives the license to the batsman to just go from ball one and carry on despite the loss of wickets. We've seen some excellent cricket. And Dyer to Gajanan. Short pitch delivery. Excellent delivery. Good pace from Dyer. Gajanan was late on that. Dyer is another tall fellow. Very nice high arm action as well. Gajanan flashing blade, one bounce for. Glorious stroke from Gajanan. Weight on offer. And a typical left-hander's flashing stroke. Gajanan is off the mark. The batsman is waiting for anything in his half. You just go for it. Another flash, another four. That's the short boundary down on that side of the ground. Just about 15-20 yards outside the 30-yard circle, and Gajanan is looking in ominous touch already. As I said, he has had a quiet tournament. Let's see if he's saved the best for the last. Pulled the length nicely, Dyer. Bowled into the wicket this time, and Gajanan was looking to play across the line. The dimensions of the ground is from where where Dyer is bowling. Fine leg, square leg is almost 70-75 yards, but the square boundaries are about 45 to 50 yards, as this one is off the edge. Third man has enough time to come around. .21 for no wicket. Gajanan is on 9. Babwa to take up the strike for the first time against Dyer. As I was mentioning, the square boundaries are very short, especially down towards our left. Is just about 45 meters. But the straight boundaries are quite big. Once again on the stumps, off the thigh pad of Shazam Babwa. Umpire has given it as runs, and 22 for 2 after 2 overs, Atlanta Fire. Ready for the third over. It's about to commence. Fobbs from the commentary box end. Babwa is on strike. Last over of the power play. Long on is back and mid wicket is back. Fine leg up in the ring and square leg is just behind the square, just to the right of the square leg umpire. Full toss, loose delivery, and that's the short side of the boundary that I was mentioning. Just one bounce over the fence. Babwa took full toll. You can watch our side angle. It's just about 45 yards on that side towards the bottom of the screen. So Babwa is getting along nicely. Moves to 15. As I was mentioning, both the teams have the powerhouse batting lineup with decent bowling as well. They had blown away their opposition in the semi-finals, but final promises to be more competitive. As the ball has been found in the woods. We've lost quite a few balls throughout the course of this tournament. Excellent delivery, full length, and the finger goes up. Big wicket for the Param Veers as the skipper Babwa strapped right in front. Terrific delivery from Fobbs and a big wicket. Fobbs made amends for the previous loose delivery. Got his line and length perfectly right. And Babwa got 15. Takes the long walk back. Atlanta fired 26 for 1 in the third over. The mercurial Ricardo Powell heading to the middle after the fall of Shazam Babwa. Powell has also had a very good tournament both with bat and ball. Atlanta Fire will be hoping for him to fire in this big game. Powell certainly had the pedigree back in the day. Swashbuckling player, of course, who played for the West Indies. Still looks in good nick, good fitness, good shape. And the full delivery from Forbes, but quality batting from Ricardo Powell. That was sublime. Absolute effortless ease from Ricardo Powell, showing that he doesn't have just the power, he has the finesse and the touch. Easy on the eye. Now the half volley, sensational stroke, back-to-back boundaries. Ricardo Powell, you little beauty. The most aesthetically pleasing stroke, the straight drive. Powell got to the pitch and hit it where it came from, all along the ground. The quality is there for everyone to see. Superb batting. Flick up the pads, hat-trick of boundaries from Powell. Absolute class from the former West Indian international. leg stump half volley all right, but the poise and the grace, the balance was absolutely sensational from Ricardo Powell. He's already made his presence felt. Just 3 deliveries for 12 runs as Atlanta Fire moves to 38 in the 3rd over. And Fobbs has gone for 4 boundaries. And the 5th ball, which was incidentally his 2nd ball of the over, was a wicket. So that was a good delivery and a classic leave. Is this a T10, Roddy? We've seen in this over what we haven't seen all weekend. All 3 boundaries all along the ground and a leave outside the off stump. 38 for 1 Atlanta Fire after 3 overs. Brian Gale is taking up the attack from the far end. This power play is done and dusted. Fielders scattered around along on the boundary lines either side of the wicket. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off and deep cover. Gale is still not happy. Moves another fielder from onside. So all the fielders are in the ring on the offside, 4 of them. The atmosphere is building as Gale starts off with a good delivery. A ring of fielders on the offside in the 30-yard circle. Excellent stroke from Gajanan. Waited for that off the back foot. Terrific stroke. And Gajanan's first 6 of the final. Brian Gale was guilty of just bowling slightly short. And Gajanan took full toll. Wasn't a terribly bad delivery, but Gajanan made a good stroke out of that as next one swings and miss. Slight overbalancing act, but he kept his back foot in the crease. Good comeback from Gale. Slog sweep. That's gone way back. Gajanan Singh is on fire. And Atlanta Fire has brought up the 50 in the 4th over. Incidentally, it's 56 now. It's Gajanan. I think he's the top scorer of the tournament for him individually. He's on 27. Excellent stroke, but in the air and a drop catch. That could prove very costly. It went very hard and low. But you should expect the Param Veers fielders to take these sort of catches, which they have been taking so far in this tournament. First blemish on their score sheet. Slight discrepancy here. I think according to the umpire, it's 1 to come. Gale staying round the wicket for the right-hander Powell. The onside field looks pretty thin, but Powell is good enough to cart it away through the offside once again all along the carpet. This time straight to the fielder. So 4 overs gone, 58 for 1 Atlanta Fires. Patel is the new bowler from the commentary box end. Powell batting on 13. Gajanan has got 28. Kept slightly low. Powell played over the top of that. Dot ball from Patel. Smashes it straight down the ground. Looking for 2 Gajanan, but not there. Good bit of fielding at long on. .59 for 1. Gajanan is back on strike. He's looking at the offside field. He's got a sweeper at cover and a long off. Slog sweep down on one knee, clears the fence easily. Terrific hit from Gajanan. This time, once again, knocks the ball into the onside for a single. Moves to 35. Looking at the strength of the batting lineup of Param Veers. It'll be very hard to judge what would be a good first innings total. There's some time. Chasing the target in these shorter versions is much better option, but that comes with the pressure as well of chasing in a final, in a knockout game. As we watch Powell once again. Patel once again to Gajanan. Shot, flashes it once again outside the off stump, plays it late, finds the gap. Good bit of batting from Gajanan, making full use of the weight on offer from Patel. His over's gone for 13 runs. Gajanan is on 39. Halfway stage, 71 for 1 Atlanta Fire. Halfway stage, Atlanta Fire has reached 71 for 1. Damien Ebanks is the new bowler from the top end. Powell batting on 15, he's on strike. Gentle medium pace from Ebanks. Good knock down at backward point by the fielder, but 1 run for Powell. Powell seems in complete control, not panicking at all. Just playing the ball into the gaps, proper cricketing strokes. No slogging from him just yet. On the other hand, Gajanan, he's saved his best for the last, most important game of the tournament. As he swings and a miss. Extra bit of bounce from Ebanks. Once again, he's a tall lad. Found good bounce as Gajanan was looking to swing across the line. Bringing the changes, Ebanks pushes the short third man back to the fence and brings the backward square leg in the 30-yard ring. Once again, that one kept low. Bit of up and down bounce on the wicket. But such is the nature of this T10 cricket, with the batsman having the license, that variable bounce hasn't deterred them from going for their strokes. We have seen some huge totals. Gajanan into the 40s. He's on 40. Ebanks round the wicket. This time Powell goes the aerial route. And way back over the long off fence. Sensational hitting from Ricardo Powell. Powell so far had kept the ball along the ground. And this time he decided to lift the ball. There was the right line, right length from Ebanks.
Oh, so it's not like he tried to get out there.
Damien Ebanks to Ricardo Powell. Ooh, change of pace, change of action as well. Yeah, well, it's back from the back of the commentary box. I hear what I thought was the case. Umpires are keeping an eye on everything. This time it's quicker, and quicker off the bat as well, but straight to the fielder. Damien Ebanks is another of those names who's very well known on this circuit. As he completes his over. 80 for 1 after 6 overs. A good over from Ebanks. Just went for 9. Despite a big 6 from Ricardo Powell. This final is evenly poised after 6 overs. He's desperately calling out for someone to take the game by the scruff of the neck. None better so than Ricardo Powell, the man in the middle. In his heyday, he was renowned to change complexion of international games. He's got a bit of a start. He's on 23. 3 fours and a 6. Patel to finish off his spell. Quicker. Powell couldn't get underneath it. Good delivery from Patel. Cramped him for space. The Atlanta Param wouldn't mind singles at this stage. They would be desperately trying to protect the big hits, the boundaries in sixes. This game can change very, very quickly. This 10-over format, very unforgiving. Gajnan down the wicket. Slow delivery. Superb piece of bowling from Patel. Beat him in flight. Excellent deception and good glove work as well. So Gajnan's good innings has come to an end. He scored 40 and he has to leave the field now. And Atlanta fire in the 7th over, 81 for 2. Antoine is the new man. Antoine has been in good form as well. Scored a 50 yesterday, a 49, unbeaten 49 in the semi-final. Patel has shown good skills with the ball, giving his team a very good breakthrough, a timely one. Short and wide this time, slower. Antoine has to force the pace straight to the fielder. Powell on strike. Big shot in the air, but in the gap as well. One bounce over the fence. Got the feeling Powell didn't get all of it. He's such a powerful man. Still enough to get it to the boundary on one bounce. He moves to 28. Patel is mixing his pace cleverly. Powell is very, very experienced. It would seem that he has the answer for everything. As we watch Patel once again. Down the wicket, Powell. Flat hit. Superb save. Put the body on the line just right in front of us. Sensational bit of fielding from Atlanta Param. Garvey was the man, just right in front of us. Restricted the scoring to just 2 runs. Or just a single, I beg your pardon. Now the slow delivery, drifting in. Good bowling, excellent bowling from Patel. He finishes off with 1 for 21 of his 2 overs. And Atlanta fired after 7 overs, 88 for 2. Damien Ebanks, none for 9 of his first over. A current run rate of 12.57. At that rate, Atlanta Fire is likely to get up to 126 runs. Only time will tell if that would be enough, but with Powell and Antoine in, probably they'll be hoping for a few more. Ebanks once again angling it across the left-hander. Good delivery. Antoine is on 3, 89 for 2. This is the contest we'd like to watch. Ebanks against Ricardo Powell. Ebanks was changing his pace intelligently in his last over. Short onside boundary. He's bowling round the wicket. It'll be interesting to see what line he bowls. That was wide, but Powell has hit him flat over the extra cover fence. Powell is in sensational form. He's just taking that game away from Atlanta Param. We're 95 for 2 now. Atlanta Fire, and Powell has moved to 35. Powell's wicket is really key at this stage of this final, as another straight smash. Field is well set by Ebanks for himself. That long off fielder is quite straight. Restricts Powell to a single. 96 for 2. Good delivery from Ebanks. Another slow delivery. Antoine was swinging too hard before the ball had even arrived. Good skills shown by Damien Ebanks. He himself was in sensational form with the bat in the semi-final as well, along with Omari Williams. Quicker delivery. Hit Antoine on his back, I think, as he swung too hard. That's clever changes of paces from Ebanks. He's only gone for 17 runs of his 1.5 overs. A decent return. Another slow delivery, but this time Antoine was ready and waiting, picked it up early and deposits him over square leg. As you can hear from the cheers in the background, Atlanta Fire has reached their 100. Atlanta Fire 102 for 8, 102 for 2 after 8 overs. Antoine is on 9, Powell 36. Sewell is back into the attack. Short delivery, Powell couldn't get hold of it. Quicker in pace from Sewell. Sewell got a little bit extra bounce as well with his height. You know, he's a tall lad. .12.6 What's the current run rate? Flat delivery and a superb stroke, just bounces inside the fence. Great connection from Antoine. Antoine moves to 13. 107 for 2. Quicker delivery. Wide given by the umpire. Soul is not happy. Seems a fair call. Once again bowling outside the off stump. Turn and bounce for Sewell. Slightly closer this time. So the umpire gave the benefit of the doubt to Sewell. A little bit of game of cat and mouse going on between Sewell and Antoine, as this one, Antoine has got hold of it. Massive blow. The Atlanta Fire crowd on the left of our commentary box is all fired up. 114 now for 2. Antoine carrying on his good form from the previous games. Moves to 19. Now the good delivery from Soul. That's the line he's trying to bowl. He's trying to protect that short onside boundary by bowling outside the off stump with a deep field set. Anytime he's erred in line and length, Antoine has punished him. Another flashing stroke away from the sweeper. That went like a tracer bullet from Antoine. A strong finish to the over for Atlanta Fire. 118 for 2 with 1 over to go. The very impressive Dyer is back for the final over of the game for the first innings. It's been a very, very good innings. Atlanta Param Veers seems to have had things pretty much under control. But Atlanta Fire trying to break free. At this stage, you would just think that this just right about where the par score would have been. As Dyer digs it into the wicket. Never arrived for Powell as he swings at thin air. Powell need a couple of big connections to get him closer to his 50. Batting on 37. In his zone, but straight to the extra cover fielder. Superb ground fielding once again. Has to be said, it's not easy on this bumpy outfield. But the players are ready to put their bodies on the line in this big game. Singles won't hurt the Atlanta Paramveer as much at this stage of the innings. Now the good delivery, pacey delivery. It was a length delivery, it has to be said, but Antoine was looking to hit it across the line. 2 dots and a single in this final over. That's the kind of over that Paramveer would be hoping for. But as we keep saying, it can change very, very quickly. Last 3 deliveries of the innings to come. This time Antoine has got hold of it. Guilty of bowling too short. Dyer and Antoine. The crowd are up on their feet once again. Antoine is quickly catching up with Ricardo Paul. I don't know if he has enough time to cross him over, but he's moved to 29. 125 for 2. Would represent a very good total for the final. Param is not out of it though. Flashing blade, one bounce for. It really pinged off the middle of the bat. Fast hands from Antoine. He's moved to 33. 129 with one ball to go. Dyer's return so far is 21 runs off his 1.5. Takes it into the pitch. Powell looking for the run. The umpires had called it a wide ball. The signal came from the square leg umpire, 130. And Dyer has to re-bowl the final delivery. Full and straight Yorker could be the order of the day. We haven't seen many Yorkers. Last ball of the innings. Straight down the ground. As there was almost a collision and slight confusion. That summed up the innings for the Atlanta Fires. A boundary to finish off. 134 they finish on. Very impressive batting performance from the Atlanta Fire in this big final here at the NH Scott Park in Atlanta. Gajanan got 40, but the partnership of the innings came from Powell and Antoine. Powell finishing on 38, Antoine on 37. Pretty much a disciplined bowling effort in the field from Atlanta Paramveer. The wickets came for Forbes and Patel, who was quite impressive. Only 2 wickets came their way, but the fielding was disciplined. And you would say at the halfway stage that 131 Atlanta Fire have their noses in front. There's a changeover for the innings. We'll take a short break and we'll come back with the run chase for the final game of this championship. So keep watching and we'll be right back. A very warm welcome back once again to the run chase. Both the opening batsmen are out in the middle. And Atlanta Fire has took to the field as well. It's pretty welcoming. Cloud cover has also arrived. Very comforting for the players. Shazam Babwa is going to start the bowling. Babwa with his familiar tactics of round the wicket, angling the ball into the left-hander, not looking to turn it. Single down to the sweeper on the onside. Inngs off the mark, and Omari Williams is about to take strike. As Babwa continuing to bowl round the wicket. Babwa, only 3 fielders on the onside though. He's angling it across the right-hander. Tipping a run from Omari Williams to get him off the mark. Field changes around for the left-handed Inngs. In the semi-final, both these openers were in sensational form. As Inngs has lunged that, he hasn't got all of it. Powell getting underneath it. It hit the fence, I think, or hit the tree and came back into the field of play, but that's 6. The umpire is conferring. Given as 6 runs. It's first maximum for Param Veers. Giving himself some room. Babwa cleverly fires it in, Yorker length. Once again, Inngs is also very experienced, very familiar on this circuit. So is Babwa. Good contest here. Yorker length once again, right in the block hole. Good over from Babwa. 8 for no wicket. Param Veers after the first over. It's a wonderful atmosphere here. It's a very good crowd. Towards our left are the supporters of Atlanta Fire. They were really jumping for joy towards the end of their batting innings, as Powell and Antoine got on a bit of a roll and got them to a formidable total. The game pretty much in the balance, as Atlanta Param Veers would still think that they're in the game with their formidable batting lineup. We watch Chris getting ready. Pretty much regulation field. Third man's back. fine leg is up and deep square leg on the onside. Chris strays down the leg side. Good pace but misdirected. Even in this short format, wickets are the key. You're able to knock over the informed batsman early. As Chris once again strays down the leg side. As shot the wickets from the keeper Antoine. Have to wait for the umpire's signal. I think he's given as runs. So Williams moves to 2 as the left-handed Inngs is back on strike. Good delivery from Chris on a length. No room whatsoever for Inngs. Could see a bit of a needle between the two teams. Inngs represented the Atlanta Fire in a national competition in Houston a couple of months back. Now he's moved to play it for the Param Veers. .11 for no wicket. Good pace, good line, good length. Chris has also had a very impressive tournament with the ball. He's impressed everybody with his pace and accuracy. Remember one of the games yesterday, he bowled probably the ball of the tournament. A leg cutter that pitched on middle and hit top of off, sent the stumps cartwheeling. Big edge and gone! Chris continues his good form, good line, good length, a little bit away movement. And the inform Amari Williams could just edge it. Antoine made no mistake behind the stumps as Atlanta Fire is celebrating. It's a big wicket. As Williams walks back for 2, Paramveer 11 for 1 in the second over. Garvey is the new batsman walking to the middle. It's the very impressive Chris has once again provided the breakthrough. Keeping the ball well up with good pace and a little bit of movement. And you could sense that Babwa has got things under control. He's provided Chris with a slip. Hardly ever present in a T10 competition. But Chris with his tail up. Excellent delivery. Hard lengths, getting good bounce, hitting the splice of the bat. Very, very impressive, Chris. As I was saying earlier, even in this T10 format, wickets are the key. If you keep chipping in at the batting lineup, the run rate of 14, 15 is not easy to maintain for the new batters coming in all the time. Went for the Yorker, Chris. Full toss. Knocked it down, but just a single to finish off the over. Only 3 of Chris is over with a big wicket as well. 2 overs gone. Paramveer 12 for 1. Babwa to continue, as it has been the trend throughout the tournament. He bowls in the power play, takes the responsibility as a captain, leads from the front. Garvey is on strike. A target of 135 runs. Param Veers definitely need a partnership. Sliding away from the right-hander, Babwa. A slight fumble from Powell, but the running wasn't intense, so just a single. Full toss from Babwa. Failed to capitalize. Inngs is shy on the stumps. Concedes an overthrow. Atlanta Fire are very, very aggressive in the field, making their presence felt. Glorious cover drive from Garvey, looking to play it along the ground and found the gap. A much needed boundary to break the shackles. Another boundary, this time on the pads. And just wide open spaces on the onside. Once you find the gap on that short side of the field, don't bother chasing those as back-to-back boundaries. Slight apology, it's Brian Gale, we've been told, that's went in. Slight discrepancy with the shirt numbers. 22 for 1 in the Param Veers. This time Babwa has provided the length to Gale. And it's a Gale-esque 6 from Brian Gale. Way over into the trees. Babwa proving expensive in this over. A 4, 4 and a 6. $28 for 1 now. Gale has charged off the blocks pretty quickly, and that's what Param Veers needed after a slight sluggish start, but 3 balls from Gale has pulled things back. Full toss, freebie, back-to-back 6s from Brian Gale. Very, very expensive over from Babwa has come to an end. 34 for 1 now, Atlanta Param Veers making a strong reply after 3 overs. $101 needed in 7 overs. Not a few years ago you would have thought it would be an uphill task. It can only represent, with wickets in hand, only a par score. Wickets are the key once again, as Chris power play is done and dusted. I think Atlanta Fire made 38 in their first 3 overs. Full length from Chris once again into the gap. Looking to pick up. Ebanks is content with just a single. Good bit of fielding from Ricardo Powell. $35 for 1 in the 4th over. Gale has raced along to 22, and he's the right man to be on strike for Atlanta Param. Took Bobwat to the cleaners in the last over. 4-4 and a 6 and 6. Exactly 100 needed. Good delivery from Chris once again. Chris would have to be one of the top contenders for the bowler of the tournament. Back of the commentary box, the tournament management committee doesn't agree with me, but that's okay. As we watch Ebanks once again finding the fielder on the fence. If you're watching pitch side like we are, I can tell you that ball is flying at the rate of knots. Short pitch delivery, short arm jab from Gale. Once again, Chris is hurrying him up. Good pace. He's gone for 7 runs off his 1.4 overs with 1 wicket. It's an exceptional performance considering it's the final, the championship game. $97 to win for Param. The required run rate of 15 and over. As Gale has been carted along, fielders back paddling as it hits the roof of the car over there. That car has been in the firing range all day. Balls landing left, right and center. This time it was bound to happen. Takes one on the roof. Ebanks finally got one away. Been slightly sluggish innings so far from him, but the good thing from Param, he's still in. Another strong shot down the ground, but straight to the fielder. Field is set well. As impressive, Chris finishes off with 1 for 14 of his 2 overs. 45 for 1 in 4 overs, Atlanta Param. Salman is the new bowler, it seems. In the last over, you see the car towards the right of the picture. That was the one that got hit by a square drive from Inngs. It's still there, not been moved. It's still in the firing range, and Inngs is hitting towards square leg now. So Salman is getting ready. He's got a fielder's position right next to the car as Salman goes for a wide Yorker, but too wide for the umpire to adjudicate on. So .89 to win of 36 deliveries. Single to Inngs of Salman. He's looking to bowl full. Full toss from Salman. He took the pace off. Got lucky. It's 4.2 overs gone. Another Yorker, but Inngs got underneath that. That's a terrific stroke and out of the park. Salman was going for the Yorker, but these days the bats are so good. Inngs got hold of it. .50 has been brought up for Param Veers as Inngs has been knocked over by Salman. Another full delivery. This time he got it right. And the middle stump is out of the ground. What a sight for the fast bowler. And this is a big wicket. The inform Inngs has been castled. 24 he made in this final, as Param Veers has lost another wicket. 54 for 2. Very, very important breakthrough provided by Salman for the Atlanta Fire. The dangerous Inngs. So this time I think it's Garvey. As Brian Gale is on the other end. He's batting on 25, approaching the halfway mark of this innings. The required run rate is 15.19. The good delivery, pacey delivery from Salman. Went through Garvey. He was looking to dab it to third man. There's a big gap over there. But the all-round strength and depth in the bowling lineup of Atlanta Fire is coming to the fore in this final, as the big hitters keep coming and have to keep their discipline all the way through the innings. As Garvey has got hold of that leg stump half volley, guilty of bowling too straight on that occasion, Salman. And Garvey is off the mark with a boundary. Halfway stage, Param Veers 58 for 2, needing another 77 in the 5 overs remaining. The scoreboard may suggest Atlanta Fire is on top in this final, but if you look around the ground, the fans are very intense. The atmosphere has gone a little quiet, both the teams sensing there is that opportunity to grab that final. 77 in 5 seems quite a lot, but in this format, couple of good overs, and it's very, very attainable, this target. Towards our left, the Atlanta Fire supporters who were up on their feet a minute ago. They're very intense. It's gone a bit quiet as well. So are the supporters of the Param Veers towards our right. Jadip is taking up the attack from the commentary box end. He's been bowling with the new ball. But this time he's come in the middle of the innings. He's bowling to Brian Gale. Good delivery, left arm over the wicket across the right-hander with the angle. Remember, Brian Gale got off to a sensational start of Babwa. He made 20 of his first 4 deliveries. Got a bit of a lull in the last few overs, has been kept away from the strike. See if he can find that top gear once again, as Param Veers need a big over at this stage. Slow delivery, clever piece of bowling from Jaydeep. Tension is building. Dot ball's been cheered. And the Param Veers, as I said, would ideally love to have a big over at this stage to keep them in the hunt. We've said this all along, this game can change very, very quickly. Now the slow delivery in the gap. Short boundary on that side. Excellent piece of fielding. Just the single. It went right to where the Atlanta Param Veers dugout is and their supporters. I think it's Gajnand back there. Is it Gajnand or Vinod? I think it's Vinod. Excellent piece of fielding. That's been the feature of the Atlanta Fire effort in this tournament. The fielding has been very good on a difficult outfield. It's very bumpy. Both their catching and ground fielding has been excellent. Straight blow down the ground. Long on coming around, but too much power this time from Garvey. A much needed boundary for Param Veers. $63 for 2. Jaydeep has been stopped in his tracks by the batsman. A good over for Param Veers would really set this final up to a thrilling climax. They're still behind the run rate, but not out by any means. Slow delivery, but in the arc for Garvey, and he smashed it into the car park. A magnificent strike. .69 for 2. Jaydeep once again got a little bit too predictable, but it was in the range for Garvey and full extension of the arms and a terrific connection. Pressure delivery once again, 11 of the over so far. This one is straying down the leg side and wide given. Jaydeep under pressure. This is the pressure of the final. 70 for 2. Now the 65 needed. 4 overs to come after that. I mean, sensational stroke. Glorious hit from Garvey. Outside the off stump, with an offer. But Garvey has smashed him over the extra cover fence. One of the more difficult shots. But the execution was top class. Which meant that made a very, very big over for Param Veers. That's the big over that I was talking about. 18 of the over from Jaydeep. 76 for 2. And the required run rate has dropped down to 14.75 in the last 4 overs, which is very, very attainable in this form of the game. With wickets in hand, Param Veers are right back in it. Key man, the experienced Powell is into the attack. Tension is building as we enter the grand finale of this tournament. 4 overs, 59 needed. Powell will be trying to protect this short onside boundary as Gale was going for that side of the field, misses. Powell is very experienced. He will be trying to mix his pace. As Gale has moved inside the line of the ball and smashes it over the mid-wicket fence. Short boundary or not, that would have been 6 on any field. Gale moves to 32. Powell's got his thinking cap on. Aborts his run. Dead ball from the umpire. You could sense the pressure all around this ground now. Both the teams are in the hunt. It's another big shot. Field is set though. Slight fumble. You have to wait for the umpire signal. Did the fielder recover quickly? I think he has. It's a long way out from here. 2 more runs to Gale. Each and every ball is an event, as this one's been carted over the extra cover. But the sweeper's down there. Atlanta Fire will be happy with the singles at this stage. But one big hit has already come off this over. Dot balls are gold dust at this stage. Trying to place the ball, looking for two. Garvey. Old-fashioned placement rather than the brute force that we see these days. Garvey moves to 21. Powell will be looking to save that last ball. 10 of the over so far. And I don't think he's aborting his run. I think there's a method behind this, trying to upset the rhythm of the batsman, or maybe trying to keep the non-striker honest and in his ground. Quicker delivery. Slight fumble. This time I don't think there's signal coming from the umpire. So 2 runs. For the first time in the tournament, you could see that the Atlanta Fire, their fielding is under pressure and showing signs of it. As Powell has gone for 12 for his over. 7 overs gone, 88 for 2. Another 47 needed. 15.67 is the required run rate. But with 2 set batsmen in, Param Veers are well within the contest. The Atlanta Fire fans are quiet towards our left. Tension is building. You couldn't have asked for a better final than this. A weekend of brilliant cricket has all come down to the final 3 overs. Gibran is the new bowler. The Atlanta Fire fielders are scurrying around all over. Got a long on, a mid-wicket and square leg. Oh, the left-hander, no, the right-hander on strike, beg your pardon. Tension everywhere. Third man is up in the ring. Extra cover and long off on the fence on the offside. As we watch Gibran to Garvey. Big edge and gone, a big wicket. You could see the celebrations. The Atlanta Fire really needed that. They got hold of the set. Garvey was threatening to take the game away, and Gibran has provided the breakthrough. Big wicket. Garvey played a very, very good hand. But he's taking the long walk back. He's made 21. "17 deliveries to go. The required total is still 47. And the fact that the new batter will be on strike, Gibran could try and get away with a few cheap deliveries. Parchment is the new batsman. He's been in good form as well. Remember one of the games yesterday. Really got off to the bowling.
How much Garvey made?
Gibran to Parchment. Let delivery off the edge. Another catch. Another wicket. Back-to-back wickets for Atlanta Fire. Breathe life into their supporters. As the old saying goes, one brings two, and 2 wickets, back-to-back wickets for Atlanta Fire. No matter what format of cricket you play, you can't underestimate the value of keep taking the wickets. And Atlanta Fire has just done that. And Gibran is the man who's doing the business for them. Parchment departs without troubling the scorers. Gibran on a hat-trick. We already had 1 hat-trick yesterday with Johnson, as Gibran has Parchment in his sights. Length delivery in there. Fell just short of the square leg fielder. Just a single, but sensational effort from Gibran. As just the 1 run has come off his first 3 deliveries, tilting the balance in favor of his team. As I keep saying, this is the nature of this short format. It keeps changing every few deliveries. Who knows, a couple of big blows could still turn around this over in favor of Param Veers. And Gale is capable of doing that. As he's placed that one, beautiful shot. Superb piece of timing and placement. Excellent awareness. He moves to 41. Top scorer of the final, Brian Gale. Keeping his team in touch. Still 2 deliveries go in this Gibran over. Got hold of that. 6. No question about that. Is Brian Gale going to be the man who's going to turn this final on his head? He's trying, and Gibran guilty of bowling too short, and Gale was ready for that. $99 for 4. 2 good deliveries for the Param Veers, 10 runs of it. All of a sudden, they're back in the game. Can Gibran finish it off strongly? Bit too cute from Gale, looking to find that 3rd man fence. Dot to finish, 11 of the over. Still a very, very good over for Atlanta Param. $99 for 4, 8 overs gone. Brian Gale seems to be the key here. 36 of 2 overs. Param Veers ideally wanted him on strike at the start of the next over, but it will have to be Mark Parchment. The pacey Salman is going to bowl the over, and I think Gibran or Ricardo Powell will be given the responsibility to bowl the final over. But this over is key. These days, the penultimate over normally is the key. It even has more importance than the last over, as Salman will try to protect and leave as many as possible for the final over, whereas Param Veers will be looking to go really hard and reduce the target to as low as they can. What a thrilling final this has been. Kind of game that the tournament was calling for, and all the spectators have got what they wanted. Flashing blade, 3rd man's trying to come around. Chris done a superb job. Excellent ground fielding. It seemed that he'd overrun the ball, but recovered quickly. Tall figure of Chris, but got down very, very quickly. and saved a certain boundary. That's the kind of effort that can make the difference in this game. That 2, meanwhile, has brought up the 100 for the Param Veers. Big shot in the air. Excellent effort, but Parchment had just about enough on it as the fielder has clattered into the fence. He looks in some sort of pain. But the all-important big hit has come early in the over for the Param Veers. 28 needed of 10 deliveries now. Parchment is putting in a contribution. Could well be the most telling contribution at this late stage of the final. Salman has gone for 8 of his first 2 deliveries. His strength is to bowl full and straight, which he did. Wide given. It has to be said the batsman was moving across his crease, but umpires made the call. Everybody's got to live with that. Salman feeling the pressure. Strong shot down the ground. Just a single. Still there's tension around the ground. With one ball, the Param Veer fans get up on their feet. On the other one, the Atlanta Fire supporters get excited. Slow delivery, got hold of it. That's the big shot that Gale was looking for. That's brought up his 50 as well. Terrific knock from Brian Gale. The most telling contribution in the final. And he's looking to take the game away single-handedly. It's a huge round of applause for Gale as the message has gone across. He's reached his 50. 115 for 4 with just 8 deliveries to go. Another 20 runs needed. Salman has been taken to cleaners. 29 of his 1.4 overs in this final. He can still make a strong comeback if he can get the wicket of Gale on this remaining 2 deliveries.
That's what I heard. Might be some echo on the mic.
Param Veer fans are on their feet. Salman gone for the big slow delivery. It's in the air. You have to see the pressure catch. Well judged and a big wicket. That's the one that Atlanta Fire needed. And the celebrations are on the pitch and on the grassy banks towards our left. As Gale is walking back, and he has to be proud of his effort. He played a sensational knock. 53 he made. He's coming back to a standing ovation.
Yeah? I think 1 ball lead, right?
Atlanta Param Veers 115 for 5. 7 balls to go. 20 more runs needed. The good thing that happened for the Param Veers is the batsman crossed, so Mark Parchment is back on strike. It's the last ball. It had to be seen that if he wants to take a single and retain the strike or just reduce the target by a big hit. Gibran. Straight shot down the ground. Firm blow, but a good bounce for the long on fielder. Very, very helpful. Slight confusion as they were looking for the overthrow, but common sense prevailed in the end, I think. A single would mean that Parchment would take the strike in the final over with 19 needed. As we watch to the top of our screen, the Atlanta Param, their supporters, the dugout, they're all up on their feet. With the final over, 19 runs to go, as the umpires want to make sure. "19 to go with Parchment, and the responsibility, as we were mentioning earlier, has been given to the experience of Ricardo Powell. Seems like it's the right end to be bowling from, because it's the long boundary on that side of the field. Or is it Gibran? Well, the pace of Gibran has been given the responsibility. What a final we've had. Terrific contest. Both the teams can take full credit for playing their part. Tremendous entertainment for the big crowd over here at the N.H. Scott Park in Atlanta. What a wonderful game of cricket we've just witnessed, and it's all come down to the final 6 deliveries. All in readiness for the final over. Gibran is ready. Here we go. Parchment in the air. He hasn't got hold of it. It's a big boundary, so just fell short of the fielder. Sewell responding well. 2 of the first delivery. 17 to go. Parchment definitely needs a maximum in the first couple of deliveries of this over to get the target down to single figures. What Gibran need to do is keep his discipline. No extras, no balls, no wides. As Sewell has helped it on its way. Pardon his Parchment. The fine leg was up in the circle. Turned out to be a free hit. And that's the boundary that I was talking about. And that set the panic button for the Atlanta Fire. 13 needed of 4 deliveries. Fine leg has been sent back to the fence. Third man's back up in the ring. Gibran would be looking to bowl full and straight. As Parchment is once again walking in front of the middle of the stumps, as Powell has one-handed pickup. Terrific piece of fielding. He's tried to prevent the second runs, but Parchment got 3 runs of that. I'm not sure if that's the good tactic, because Sewell is in strike, but at this stage of the game he has the license to go for it. 10 needed of 3 deliveries. Initially Paul did a good job by stopping that ball, but it ricocheted slightly away from him, and Parchment got 3 runs. It's all going down to the wire, it may seem. 3 deliveries, 10 runs. That's in the air. Fielder's coming around. He's called for it. Slight misjudgment, and just they're going for the 3rd runs. The throw is to the batting end. And 3 runs. That's great running, as that ball went miles in the air. Sensational cricket here, and the excitement level is unmatched. What scenes here in Atlanta. 7 to win of 2 deliveries. As the substitute is running onto the pitch. 2 deliveries to go. 7 runs required. What Atlanta Fire would do for a wicket here. This game has boiled down to the last 2 deliveries. Gibran a few minutes ago was taking 2 wickets of 2 balls. On the verge of a hat-trick and becoming a hero. Is under severe pressure right now. As Parchment is on strike. He's got 20. 20, the most valuable runs. The crowds are up on their feet. Gibran under severe pressure. He runs away. Here we go. Good delivery. That's a dot. That's a precious dot from Gibran. And Atlanta Fire. Finally their fans are up on their feet once again. But it's not over yet. A 6 could still tie it for the Param Veers. 7 runs of 1 ball. What scenes here. What a fantastic final we've had here. The excitement, the drama continuing right to the very end. Gibran is not taking long time. He's ready. Here we go. Final ball of the championship. As he's helped it along for 4. But Atlanta Fire are the winners. As their supporters run onto the pitch. What magnificent scenes here as Atlanta Fire has deservedly won that contest. But Param Veers could be very, very proud of the effort they put in the final. They've just gone down by 2 runs in the end. And the scenes here outside in the NH Scott Park is absolutely amazing. What a fantastic game of cricket we've just witnessed. Great credit to all the players, the management, the spectators who showed up. What a terrific event it turned out to be. The entertainment and the excitement all the way till the very end. And Atlanta Fire walks away with the deserved winners. Mark Parchment has to be proud of the effort he put in. But it just came down to 2 runs. As we look at the batting card. Ebanks made 24. Sensational 50 from Brian Gale. Kept them in the hunt. Garvey had good support. And Mark Parchment took the game almost to the end. But the bowling from Chris was outstanding. 1 for 14. He was the standout bowler. Gibran got the wickets towards the end. 2 important wickets and had the nerves to deliver the final punch. He was the key as well. So we just witnessed a fantastic final here as the players walk out. And we'll be right back with the presentation ceremony in a few minutes. Until that time, we'll take a short break. All of you can take a breath and catch up and be ready for the presentation. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll be right back and keep watching.